Your grandfather's lawnmower sat in a metal shed for 40 years, featuring a solid cast iron deck, a Briggs & Stratton engine with a metal carburetor, and 4 moving parts you could see with your naked eye. You could fix it with a socket set in a Saturday afternoon. Every spring it started. Every summer it ran. The mower you bought last spring will not last 10 years. Most machines won't see 5 years. Most modern residential mower engines fail between year 3 and year 5, and the manufacturers already know it. And this is not an accident. The engine sitting under that plastic hood was designed with a shorter life expectancy, built into the engineering itself. You are not buying a machine. You are buying a ticking clock. And the manufacturers set the timer before the thing ever left the factory. The engine didn't get worse because of emissions. It got worse because a worse engine costs less to make. Today we are doing a full forensic audit on the modern residential lawnmower engine. I am going to show you exactly why these machines fail at year 3, year 4, year 5. And I am going to give you the precise loophole to get out of the replacement cycle for good. Walk down the power equipment aisle at any big box store and count the brand names. First, you will see the brand Husqvarna, followed immediately by the brand Craftsman. Different colors, different price points, different logos, one parent company. Husqvarna Group owns all of them, every single one. Just like the appliance world, just like the mattress world, the small engine market consolidated quietly over 2 decades. And the result is that you are not choosing between competitors. You are choosing between paint jobs. But the consolidation is only half the story. The deeper story is what happened to the engines inside those machines. And the worst part? The failure usually begins with a $3 component inside the carburetor. Through the 1990s and into the early 2000s, the EPA issued a series of small engine emission standards. Tier 1, Tier 2, Phase 2, aimed at reducing hydrocarbon output from residential yard equipment. The engineering changes required to meet those standards were real. What happened after those standards were met is where the story turns. The manufacturers used the redesign as cover. They met the emissions requirements. They also reduced manufacturing costs. They replaced cast metal components with molded plastic. They sealed systems that used to be serviceable. They simplified carburetors in ways that made them cheaper to produce and faster to fail. The emissions rules changed what the engine had to do. The corporations decided what the engine was allowed to be. You are paying $400 for a mower that contains a $60 engine. Mechanism. Here is exactly how that works. The major residential mower brands, Husqvarna, Troy-Bilt, Craftsman, are built around a small number of engine platforms. Most of them source from just 2 suppliers, Briggs & Stratton and Kohler. What was once a competitive market for durable small engines has narrowed to the point where most residential mowers roll off the line with a variation of the same basic engine family, regardless of what name is printed on the shroud. The Briggs & Stratton 675EX, 725EXI, and the entire EX series are the engines powering the majority of big-box residential mowers sold in North America. These engines retail to the mower manufacturers at a fraction of the consumer price. Their design prioritizes cost of production, not length of service life. The tolerances are looser. The materials are lighter. The service intervals are shorter. We have spoken to dozens of small engine repair technicians across the country who all say the same thing. They stopped recommending repairs on engines under a certain age because the cost of parts exceeded the replacement cost of the mower. That is not a repair economy. That is a replacement economy. This is not an accident. This is a design choice. They removed the ability to repair the one component most likely to fail. The carburetor is the heart of a small gasoline engine. On older Briggs & Stratton engines from the 1970s and 1980s, the carburetor was a machined aluminum unit with replaceable jets, a rebuildable float, and a needle valve you could adjust with a flathead screwdriver. Total cost to rebuild one, under $15. A competent homeowner could do it in an hour. The carburetors on current generation residential mower engines are molded plastic units with no serviceable internal components. When the plastic float swells from ethanol-blended fuel, and it will swell, because E10 is now the standard fuel at virtually every pump in the country. The engine runs rough, then rich, then not at all. The fix on an old engine was a $7 rebuild kit. The fix on a new engine is an $80 to $120 carburetor replacement, assuming the part is even available. On engines more than 4 years old, it frequently is not. Imagine this. It is July. Your grass has not been cut in 2 weeks. You pull the cord on a mower that is 3 years old. It runs for 90 seconds and dies. You take it to a small engine shop, if you can still find one, and they tell you the carburetor is gone, the part is backordered, and the repair estimate is more than a new mower costs at Walmart. So you drive to Walmart, and the cycle repeats. They are not just removing the carburetor. They are removing your ability to say no to the next purchase. The machine sitting in your garage is not designed to be owned. It is designed to be replaced. In 2021, the Federal Trade Commission released a report to Congress concluding that manufacturers across multiple industries, including power equipment, were using warranty restrictions, parts access policies, and software locks to prevent independent repair. The report specifically noted that these restrictions disproportionately harm consumers in rural areas, where dealer networks are sparse and alternatives are limited. In the small engine world, this takes a specific and concrete form. Briggs & Stratton, following its 2020 bankruptcy, an acquisition by KPS Capital Partners, a private equity firm, restructured its dealer parts network. Independent dealers reported losing access to certain parts categories. Service manuals that were once freely distributed became dealer-exclusive documents. The institutional knowledge required to repair these engines is being quietly removed from the public domain. A Montana rancher filed a complaint with the state attorney general's office after a sealed diagnostic port on his mower required a $200 dealer visit to reset an engine fault code caused by a clogged air filter. The machine locked itself out of operation and demanded a licensed technician to unlock it. That is not a safety feature. That is a subscription to your own yard. So how do you beat this? How do you opt out of a market where the machine is engineered to fail and the repair path has been deliberately blocked? If you must buy from a big box retailer, go straight to the cheapest, most mechanically simple model on the floor. The one with no auto choke, no ready start, no EXI designation. Look for the simplest carburetor configuration available. Ideally a fixed jet unit with no electric primer. Fewer components means fewer failure points. The least sophisticated engine on the rack will almost always outlast the premium one, because it has less to go wrong and more of it can be addressed with basic hand tools. The real move is to stop buying residential equipment entirely. Commercial-grade mowers are built around a fundamentally different engineering philosophy, uptime. A machine that runs 6 hours a day, 5 days a week is built to a different standard than one designed to sit in a garage for 6 months and then fail quietly at year 4. The engines to look for: the Kawasaki FX series and the Honda GX series. Full iron bore cylinders. Aluminum float carburetors with replaceable jets. Published service manuals with part numbers going back 15 years. A Kawasaki FX 730V will run for 2,000 to 3,000 hours with basic maintenance. At 2 hours of residential mowing per week, that is 25 years of service life. The machines defined pre-2015 commercial walk-behinds and zero turns from Skag, Gravely, Exmark, and Ferris. Their parts are still available. Their service manuals are still online. A 10-year-old Skag with a Kawasaki engine and 400 hours on it will outperform a brand new big box mower with a plastic carburetor by a margin that is not close. A used commercial mower with 400 hours is a better investment than a new residential mower with 0. Stop buying the plastic. Buy the cast iron. Buy the machine that was designed to be fixed, not replaced. Build a yard that gets mowed by the same machine for 20 years. But the lawn mower isn't the only place this is happening. The exact same private equity consolidation, the exact same sealed components, the exact same parts restriction strategy has already infected the chainsaw market. 6 brand names at the hardware store. 1 engine platform. 1 company making the decision about whether you can fix it